last attempt, but also I'm just gonna go full send it kind of mode. So basically, this is a video mostly just for me, but anybody watching can also use this. And I don't promise to be very technical or very descriptive in a way, if that makes sense to like for everybody to understand me. Basically, I'm just gonna recreate what my friend did in a short segment video of basically how to get my Windows 11 PC laptop to run faster, uh, get rid of all the bugs, get rid of all the bloatware, get rid of all the unnecessary weight and applications and files that I have. And how he did that, if you can see my cursor, is first of all, we downloaded RustDesk, which is an open source free app for him and anybody to access anybody's computer. So you can be from around the world, you can be in different cities, and a person that I hope that you trust, right, can access your computer, move your cursor, basically use your computer from their computer. And yeah, so going on, because I know videos go, whenever I make videos, they take forever because I talk kind of slow. So yeah, anyways, the main app that he got was Revo Uninstaller, which is also a free open source great app with no bloatware, no frills or shrills, no gimmicks of uninstall programs. And what it does is you it lists out the programs that your computer has. It's not going to list them all, but it's the ones that you haven't really done anything to. For example, let's say you started to delete Chrome, right? And it won't show it then, but the residual files will still be on the computer. So with this uninstaller, if you uninstall Chrome, it's going to delete 99% of it compared to what you or me could have done, which was only delete half of it or 75%. In the computer world, if you delete something, most likely you didn't delete it 100%. And look, this uninstaller, like I told you, will only delete like 99% of it, because the other hard files to get to, you kind of have to manually go into your C drive or whatever drive you have in the computer and manually get them out. And that's where having a good memory of which apps you downloaded, when, and what other code names of partner applications came with that app. Because when you download apps, it doesn't just come with Google Chrome stuff, or, for example, other things like that. It could have come with other third party applications with other names. So you're going to have to look for those names. But I'm also talking to myself because this is what I've learned. Uh, it's a pretty simple app. You don't have to learn all these tabs up here. And that's basically it. So I'm going to close this or minimize this window. The other one I got was BleachBit. So BleachBit is like a CC cleaner, but even better, because this is also open box and free to use, very simple, and kind of like Revo, it's gonna list files that you have, which the system algorithmically sees that could be trash, or uh, basically like a cleaner, right? So it'll clean up more files, and sometimes this partner up with Revo Uninstaller really helps with doing even a deeper clean. So I call it the bleach clean, and I think that's why it's called bleach bit, because you're bleaching, kind of like bleaching white clothes. You're bleaching it to restore it to the whitest color possible. And again, if you're using bleach bit and Revo, it doesn't mean that you're still gonna get to 100%. You're gonna get to 99.99, which is already good enough, unless your computer is storing mega files like mega terabytes. But let's be honest, most people's PCs here only go to like 1 terabyte or 500 gigabytes. But anyways, the future is to come, so we still have to see how much more memory. But you get the point. Like if you compound all these residue files, they will not come close to crashing your computer, making it slow, really doing anything. Like I said, you would have to download a lot of stuff, and most people who use computers use it for a couple main programs, mainly for work, storing basic documents like Microsoft Office stuff, right? PowerPoint, Word, Publisher, whatever. And that's for that you just need a simple computer, and you don't need more than 1 terabyte. So you're wasting your money if you're getting like a 2K, 3K computer. But yeah, anyways, that's me and my rambling. What other things did we do? Well, I also learned that if you want to delete apps a different way to just using Revel Uninstaller and BleachBit, which you should not rely for uninstalling apps, is you go to uh, your home, your home apps right here. You go to all, and this is gonna show you apps, like more apps or some apps that you may not see it in other places, and I'm gonna get to that. Okay, bear with me. So for example, I have this app right here that's Paint, which I can uninstall, but I'm not going to. I'm just showing you that if it has this toggle bar of uninstall, you can do it. But there's some other apps which you can't. For example, look, actually, yeah, I can uninstall, try to uninstall Skype, but this is what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be found here on apps installed in settings. Why? Because it's probably merged with a bigger app like an umbrella. So now that we're here, thank goodness, um, this is another way to get to your apps. And you might be asking, how come there's three, four, five, seven ways to see all my apps? Why can't it be like a phone? Why can't there just be one place, right, where you see all the apps, and if you delete it, that's it, and it's gonna be gone 100%. Well, unfortunately, this is Windows, and I'm not gonna get into Windows politics or anything. That's just how the operating system is. And here you're also gonna see some apps which you're not gonna see in the home, and you're probably gonna see some apps that are not in Revo or BleachBit. So you kind of have to gain experience with knowing which apps will appear where. And as you can see here, there's way more apps or programs if you scroll down, right, than there ever was if we went to the home. Because look, we're already there. Anyways, now going to the other place where you can go see apps, and I highly suggest for myself and anybody professionally, if you want to delete apps without using um, if you want to you delete apps without using Revo, right? I highly suggest you go to your control panel, and you go to your your control panel. You go to under programs, uninstall programs, and look, another place to uninstall apps or programs. Isn't that amazing? And I promise you, this is probably going to be our last stop to talking about uninstalling programs. But as you can see here, a lot of these are the same that we saw on the home and on the settings. And basically, a professional way of like deleting your apps, man, is look at the publisher. If it's like Super Cowboy from India, something like that, yeah, I would say that has more merit to be deleted than something from Microsoft Corporation. If your laptop or computer is Windows, right, it's most likely going to have Microsoft Corporation. And do not delete that, because that's what's operating your system. So it's like breaking or like taking away your own brain. You don't want to do that. You want to take away the cancer. You don't want to take away the actual components, right? Like for example, I have a Dell computer, and this is Dell Incorporations. So don't delete it, right? Because it's a Dell, like I said, like it's part of your computer. Why Windows allows a lot of these apps to even be shown where somebody that doesn't know what they're doing can delete it is beyond me. But we all have common sense. So if you see something that you think could screw up your computer, it's better to consolidate with online someone who knows what they're talking about, or just use your instincts. But don't come to me if something wrong happens, because like I said, I'm not a professional. I'm just doing this for myself, like a little help tutorial video of how to get my computer to go faster. Anyways, so that was basically what we did, and the last thing I'm gonna cover is that he told me, and this is depending on computers, okay? For example, if you have a computer like for once, I have a graphics card because this is more of a high end computer. Usually, when computers are 800 USD dollars or more, they're gonna cost. I mean, they're going to probably come with what's it called, graphics card. Now, most people probably have Nvidia, so you're gonna have an Nvidia app. What you're gonna want to do is every so often, about 2 weeks to a month, you need to update your Nvidia, and that's not an app. That's an actual component software in your computer. It's your graphics card. Now, I'm not gonna get into it because this video is gonna take too longer, but they want you to have a account when you are going to like update your Nvidia, your graphics card. But the reason why not to do this is because they will send you a lot of advertisements and bloatware, which means you'll see pop-up screens like on the right bottom right hand corner of your interface when you're trying to do work or whatever. And but yeah, always check that. And same for Windows updates. You really want to be looking out for updates so that what's it called, because if you don't do some updates, unfortunately it screws up your computer. For example, mine's up to date, and I can check it again because sometimes it's not up to date. But sometimes the updates from Microsoft are not the updates that, how can I explain it? So the updates can get updated themselves. So just because there's a brand new update doesn't mean you have to immediately update your computer, because what if that update can screw up your computer, for example? Not screw up, but mess with some files, or give your computer something that it's the system that it's not ready for. And then, for example, you lost your sound, right? That's a common issue. You lost your sound, now you can't watch videos, or you lost your mic. So it messes with some components of the computer. And I'm just trying to give you super simple examples so everybody who's age 7 to 77 can understand what I'm trying to say, okay? Now, also check this 2 weeks to a month, because time flies and it's always good to stay updated. Because believe it or not, even though you bought a computer maybe 2 or 3 years ago, the fact that there's updates can actually make it seem so that your computer is also getting faster or getting more updated, right? To standard day use. That doesn't mean hard components of your computer like the processor or something like that is gonna get better. It's just gonna get more efficient, kind of like at work. When once you've been doing like a work, right, you find new ways to go faster, and it seems like you've updated the process and it's newer, it's better. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna say is you need to update uh, whatever corporation brand your computer is. If you're Lenovo, you should have like a Lenovo app built into the computer. And like I said, do not delete those apps whenever you first get a computer or later, because again, you don't want to delete something like that, because that's a hard component of your app of your computer that it should have. And I know what you're guessing, or you're probably going to ask, like, how come I have to go to 3 places and 4 places? I mean, 3 places to look for updates for my computer, and 4 places to see if there's an app that I want to delete or check on where the location is or something. Now, like I said before, this is Windows. This is not Linux. This is not Mac. This is not Funseng machines from China. I'm just making that up. This is just unfortunately how Microsoft does their computers and their softwares. And I'm just trying to help out myself and the people. Anyways, so last thing, you go to whichever manufacturing application came with your computer. So if you have Lenovo, right, you check Lenovo. If you have Dell like me, you open this, the Dell command update. So Lenovo should have like Lenovo command update or something similar to that verbiage of what their version of the app is, and you just check. It does it for you automatically. You shouldn't have to log in just to do this, but a lot of companies want you to log in, like Microsoft, to check it, that's spy on you and to do like software stuff. And yeah, you just check. So the reason why you want to update this app is because just like the graphics card, your computer is also tied up with whatever corporation or brand that it came with. So Dell, for example, also um, not messes, but they work with your computer. Okay, so that's why you need to also check this about 2 weeks to a month. I do it a month, like monthly, and I check it 3 times. So if you have to schedule this at the first of the month, great. That way you knock three birds with one stone. And the last thing I'll say about this video is unfortunately when you update, right, it can come with some minor apps. So what do I mean by this? So if you go back to your start, for example, let's say I deleted let's say I deleted an app and then it came back. So for example, let's say I deleted OneDrive, not OneDrive, but let's say I deleted this app right here, Microsoft Teams, right? So depending on whatever update I do again with Dell, this app can come back again. Why? Because that's what Dell chooses for this computer or their computers, and every computer is different actually. So let's say you have like a high-end gaming computer, and your what do you call it? Your brand is, for example, I don't know, MSI or something. Yeah, you're probably gonna get whatever MSI chose for you, which might be some other gaming apps that you don't need, and you're gonna have to uninstall it. So it's like a game of whack a mole, because it's not like Linux where you can delete something and it's permanently gone, and you don't have to worry about updates or things coming back without your approval. This is Windows, but in all actuality, it's not that bad if you follow these steps that I just did. And there's one more big major step, but I'm not gonna get into it because I think that requires me to remember exactly which website it was and what process we did to, I think, open the task manager or the terminal, right? And basically input some information. And basically what we did there was just basically stop unnecessary updates and other functions to make the computer run more basic and more fast. Now you don't have to worry about all these other apps. That's basically it. You can copy what I did, you can do it other ways, but like I said, if something screws up with your computer, I'm not liable. I'm just here, a guy on the computer, trying to show how I did this. This is how I did my computer, okay? So if you want things simple and make it look back like Windows 7 or XP, I put this cool background which looks still beautiful in my eyes. I neatly categorize my icons, which this doesn't mean this is all the apps you have. These are just shortcuts for your interface when you first open up the computer for your home. And I switch from the middle to the left, the bottom apps icons. See, so it looks more like Windows 7. And I don't know, I just minimalized it. So the minimalist things I need is to see how much the battery's charged, the date and time, my sound, my Wi-Fi connection, what other components I have, which is, for example, the microphone, and other things running. And that's basically it. So thank you again for watching this video. Please subscribe or anything like a like is much appreciated. I appreciate you for watching this video, because I hope I taught at least one person a new thing today. And I know for a fact that if I was younger and had I watched this video, even if it wasn't professionally made with AI or very good video editing to make it as perfect as possible, this was perfect to just understand the concepts, to make your computer more simple, more fast, how to eliminate unnecessary functions in your computer that anybody can do without paying a dime. So again, thank you again, and we'll catch you in another video.